What is up guys, UCS Productions or Adam here, back for another LEGO Star Wars video. And today, as you can see, we are going to be going through my Imperial Army. Now I don't actually think I've ever done an Imperial Army update before, so this is a first for me, but my army has considerably grown over the last year. So obviously, if you do enjoy today's video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content, and comment in the section down below what your thoughts are on my army and what you'd like to see next time. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we're going to go through the minifigures first, and as you guys saw from the start little video there, we have the Darth Vader with arm printing. This is an awesome minifigure. I actually have a bunch of Darth Vaders and Palpatines, but I'm only going to show you guys like a couple of my favourite ones. So beside him we have two of the advent calendar versions, and then going to the left we have Director Krennic. We then also have a custom Admiral Thrawn. I do actually have the official LEGO one, but it's sealed in a box at the minute, and this one is an awesome minifigure. I think it's from like Forest Brick Customs or something like that. Then going to the left we have the Grand Inquisitor. I did actually own the 5th Inquisitor, but I sold him. Or it was one of the other ones from the ATT. Then we have a couple of these officers which came in this set, the prototype TIE Advanced or something like that. Going to the right we then have Back to Tank Vader. We then also have Moff Gideon. We have the Imperial Spy that was from the 2019 or 20 Mos Eisley Cantina. And we have General Veers, and I believe this is like a really old version of General Veers from that original Snowtrooper battle pack. Then going back on the left, as you can see, the Rebel Stormtroopers are definitely my favourite design. There's just something about them which I just find awesome. I can't tell you specifically how many I have here, but I think it's about 30 or 35. And behind them we have a good solid 20 of the Rogue One Stormtroopers, and 4 of them have the battle damaged effect, which I absolutely love. And behind them we have a couple spares, and then we have 4 of the Mustard Troopers, or I suppose really should be calling them the Mortar Troopers. Behind that we then have 2 more Sand Troopers. I want to say they're like captains or commanders because they do have the pauldrons. And then behind them we have 2 of the newer Sand Troopers that also come in the Mos Eisley Cantina. And then to the left of them we have 2 Shock Troopers. I actually really like these guys, and they came in that Battlefront 2 pack, I think. Anyway, moving down to the center we have 4 Imperial Patrol Troopers. I actually used these guys in a recent mock that I did, and they're really nice figures. Behind them we have the newer style of the plain Stormtroopers. Then we have 5 of the regular Scout Troopers, the newest versions, and 1 of the Snow Troopers. Then behind, things start to get a little bit mixed up here. We've got 3 of the Hover Tank Pilots. We then have a 501st style Hover Tank Pilot from the Vader's Castle set. And then we also have 2 custom Hover Tank Pilots. These are actually using the old, the Old Republic minifigure bodies and the Hover Tank helmets. I actually just think this is a really cool custom because they look so similar to the normal pilots. And then behind them we have some really old Stormtroopers, and behind that we have variations of the Snow Troopers there, going from very old to I think some of the newest ones. Going on to the right hand side, as before I said, we've got the people in the front. We then have 4 more officer type troopers, and this is more like one-of-a-kind stuff. So we have 1 singular dark trooper here. We also have Crosshair in his Imperial outfit. Next to that we have a Captain Shore Trooper, and then another, I think this is like a Death Star officer or a Death Star gunner or something like that. Behind him we have an ATST driver, a few more different styles of officers, and then we have a row of the Royal Guards. Now these are all the newest versions. I'm very happy to say I really love that double-sided cape that they've got with the lighter and darker style of the red. I got 2 of those in the Vader's Castle and 2 of those in this set. I think that's the final duel set. Then behind them we actually, and I'm pretty proud of this one, they're very expensive minifigures now. We have 4 of the Death Trooper Commandos and 4 more Death Troopers without the pauldrons. There's slightly different designs on some of them because a couple of them came in the battle pack and a couple of them came in Krennic's Shuttle. I then have just a row of like Imperial Protocol droid type things. This one came with the Krennic Shuttle as well. I think that's K2SO. Behind that, we then have Inferno Squad, all 4 members from that battle pack. And then we have 4 different styles of TIE Fighter pilot. I think 2 of them are actually the same. The 2 on the left here are the same. And then these 2 are slightly different designs. And then I also have the special, I think what the main difference with this TIE Fighter is that it has the arm printing, which is just awesome. And I think that makes that figure worth quite a lot of money now. Behind them, we then have a couple of 88 and 80 drivers, and then some other sort of 80 something drivers. You guys can sort of pull me up in the comments what those are. And I have a spare Rebel Stormtrooper at the back there. I, for some reason, couldn't find his helmet, which kind of sucked. And 2 of my Palpatines. They were actually meant to go in the front, but I ended up swapping them out for the Moff Gideon and the back to Tank Vader. Anyway, that is all of the minifigures. We'll now go through the vehicles really quickly. So far on the left here, this is newly built out of the packet. I had this one waiting sealed for quite some time. This is Director Krennic Shuttle, and I would highly recommend this set. It's totally awesome, especially with the wings folded out. We then have the Imperial Hover Tank and one of these small Patrol Trooper battle packs. The speeders from it, which I kind of modified. I just tiled it off and changed the seat basically. I wanted it to look a little bit more like detailed and realistic, like slimline. We then have the 2020 8080, which is a fantastic set. I've very often considered getting more of them, but Imperial is not my main army. We then have 2 of the newest TIE Fighters, bookending the UCS TIE Fighter, which is another set which I recently picked up, which is just an absolute grail to me. Like I said, not even like a main collector of Imperials, but this was always a must-have for me in my UCS collection, because I think it's one of the best detailed UCS sets they've ever made. It's right up there with the Sandcrawler, and as you can see just there, and a couple of the others. But anyway, moving over to the right, we then have the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, which came with the castle. And we have the advanced TIE prototype from Rebels. We then have Moff Gideon's light cruiser, which is essentially just a light cruiser. It's just the fact that it came with Moff Gideon. This is a fantastic set. Having built it, it's definitely much better in my hands than I kind of gave it credit for. But I still would say that they should have included like the little cell or the chamber where they held Grogu, or where they had like the duel between Moff Gideon and Mando. We then have one of these, I think this was an Imperial troop transport. I didn't really take too much time on it, but it is a fantastic set, I'll give it that. It just almost looks a little bit messy for my liking, that's all. But apart from that, it's a great set, and I think if they priced it at £30 instead of $35, that would have made it much better. And last of all, as I've mentioned a few times by this point, we have Vader's castle. Now, you may be saying to me, how could you possibly add this into your army video? And yes, I know it's not actually a vehicle, but I mean, it's like the central capital hub of the bloke who pretty much controls the Imperial Army. So I thought I'd at least give it a mention. It was definitely worth that. And plus, it's the storehousing for Darth Vader's actual TIE Fighter, so I kind of couldn't really leave it out. So after having counted, guys, just a quick little fact essentially, I have in total 154 Imperial minifigures, and this is just my out of the box collection. I think what I'll do is I will tag on the end of this quickly to show you guys all of my sealed Imperial stuffs, just so what you can see is what you should expect to see coming up in the next Imperial Army video. Hopefully later this year. I may even say summertime I might do an update, because it's going to be still relatively considerable. Like there's going to be at least 3 or 4 ships. Anyway, I'm going to get on and show you guys that really quickly. So as promised, we have my sealed Imperial collection. Now this is pretty much all of this is going to get opened, maybe bar like this set and a couple of the poly bags, but this will all be in the next update of my Imperial Army. But starting down at the front, we have one of the monthly issues of the poly bags, which is a Star Destroyer. This was a limited edition release, and it just looks a little bit more admirable in the package than out, so I probably will leave that in. We then have a Emperor Palpatine, a couple of different Snowtroopers. Apparently this one's limited edition. I can't really see how. It must be like the torso print or something like that. We then have 3 of the Shore Troopers, which I definitely will be opening at some point in the future. I just didn't get round to it at this point. I'm going to leave it till I move house, I think. And then we have like the midi scale version of the Imperial Shuttle. I never ended up picking up the newest full size one because personally I think it's essentially a little bit crap. Either at some point I'll go back and buy the one from Endor, or that will pretty much be as close as I get. I'd love to at one point get the UCS version, but who knows? That's for definitely for another day. Moving on to the bigger sets, we then have the Darth Vader Meditation Chamber. This is a set which I just haven't got around to opening yet, and I actually really love the look of it in box, but I will be using it as a display piece at some point in the next house. Then we have the Rogue One set. I forget what this is actually called, but it's basically the Shore attack. We then have the 20th anniversary version of the Imperial Dropship. I actually really love the original version of that. And I actually bought this initially for that minifigure, but then I didn't want to open this, so I bought that minifigure out of box. And then we have one of the newest Snowtrooper battle packs, and I'm definitely going to get a couple more of these at some point, but I'm going to try and wait for them to go on offer. We then have the famous TIE Striker. That is an awesome set, and I cannot wait to build that. I just genuinely haven't got round to it yet, and seeing as I'm moving in about a month, it just seems silly to bother opening some of these. Then this one, I know you'll probably say technically the ship isn't actually an Imperial ship, but I thought the minifigure alone was worth putting this set in here, because when I do get round to it, that Admiral Thrawn minifigure is just so awesome, and no matter what custom you get, that blue hairpiece is just so exclusively awesome, and I don't know if I'm going to open it just for that, but I'm very tempted to. I really also just love this ship in general, so who knows. This one, I already have one opened, but I wanted to get one sealed. This is the same with pretty much all the Lego sets now. Any ones that I can, I basically try to get one so I can keep sealed for future, whether it be investment or just cool to have one sealed. So 2 of these, I'm just going to keep these sealed, and I do already have obviously the 2 that you already saw, and the other one for the Marauder is over there. Apparently this set is going to be retiring this year as well, which I'm really surprised at because it's such a great set, such a short lifespan. Anyway guys, I'm going to head to the outro. As always guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like, hit subscribe if you did enjoy the video and you want to see more content like this in the future, and let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below. Until next time, stay safe, take it easy.